What's up, my wizards? It's Devo from Mtg. We like it a magic, and today I'm coming at you with a steamy, exclusive Theros Beyond Death preview card. We've been covering spoilers all season. Go back, watch those if you haven't checked it out. We got another full-time, big old spoiler video coming out today because there's a lot of cards to cover. But for now, I'm just going to show you one card that I'm excited about, and it's the one that Wizards gave to me for preview season. Let's take a dang old look at Furious Rise, everybody. Furious Rise is 2 and a red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. Now, first of all, as you can see on your screen, there's some story stuff, Vorthoses, going on with this card, as we've speculated in the past. Klothys is straight up replacing Xenagos, although Xenagos apparently tried to replace Klothys, but then Klothys came back, kicked the door down, and looked at Xenagos and was like, he doesn't even go here! And now she's sitting in his chair. So that's cool story stuff, but let's actually talk about what this card does, because I think that it's a pretty decent Magic card. Now, I'll level with you. The restriction of having to have a fat guy in play isn't exactly trivial, but we're in the kind of standard environment that makes it fairly easy. I will say, however, if you want to go 2-drop creature with power 4 or greater into a third turn Furious Rise, your only actual course of action at this point in standard is turn 2 Vantress Gargoyle. And the cards probably don't go together super well, although maybe there's something there. There's also the ability to just drop Furious Rise on turn 3, effectively skip a draw with it, and then just play a big creature on turn 4, which is probably how you're going to see this played a lot of the time. Furious Rise on turn 3 into turn 4 Questing Beast, or Shifting Ceratops, or Nightpack Ambusher, all of that works, but I don't want to skip a draw if I don't have to effectively skip a draw. So I think the best way of doing things here is to go turn 1 Gilded Goose or Arboreal Grazer, some kind of turn 1 ramp. And then on turn 2, you have a litany of options to play big creatures into a turn 3 Furious Rise. Even if you wasted a food token, for instance, with Gilded Goose, you can still have 3 mana on your turn 3. So all you have to do is go turn 2 Warden of the Chained, the 4/4 trample for 3 mana we just saw the other day. But there's also Bone Crusher Giant, Yorvo, if you can make the mana work, but it's a little bit tougher. Gruul Spellbreaker, Lovestruck Beast. There's just so many ways of making a big thing on turn 2, provided that you got some ramp on turn 1. There's even Rotting Regisaur if you want to go Jund, so there's a ton of big creatures in this format that you're going to play anyway. Things like Rotting Regisaur, Lovestruck Beast, Bone Crusher Giant, Gruul Spellbreaker. These are cards that a lot of decks play anyway, so if they want access to a really decent, card advantage piece for their deck, they can just slot it right in and really not have to worry about too much because they already play a bunch of creatures that are power 4 and greater. Now, a couple of quick fast facts about this card. First of all, it doesn't ignore any kind of timing restrictions, so if you rip a creature or an enchantment or a planeswalker off the top of your library during your end step, then no, you can't flash it in during your opponent's turn. That said, you can play instant speed stuff with this so long as you got the card, but that's not even the most interesting part. The most interesting part is that the way this is worded, you can still play the card if they remove Furious Rise, because you can play the card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. So as long as you've exiled a card, it doesn't matter. If they somehow Thrashing Brontodon or otherwise shoot down your Furious Rise, you still have access to the card that you effectively, again, drew for all intents and purposes. At least that is until you play another Furious Rise and exile the card with it. So, again, it's not guaranteed card advantage or anything, but it feels very similar, given the right board state, to something like Phyrexian Arena. And at the very least, Big Red or maybe even Gruul decks, especially post-sideboards, might want a card like this that it's effectively an extra card every single turn. And, again, the ability is worded the exact way it needs to be, to where you get the most possible time to play the card before it's gone. All in all, I'm not sure this little uncommon will do too much in standard, but it is a card I'm pretty excited about, and I do have my eye on. There's a lot that can be done with it, and again, you really can't discount an extra card every single turn, even if you have to take off a turn to do so. But that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments section how you felt about this card and any combos or interactions that I didn't point out in the video. You're more than free to point out down there. This is obviously, I say this all the time, but Preview season is the time we need to put all of our heads together and come up with all the best interactions we possibly can so that we know how good certain cards are, right? So get down there and let me know anything I missed, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the bell for the notifications, because we are not done with spoiler season. And even when we are done with preview season, we got a bunch of decks to get to, and I know you're excited about that. So check out the Patreon or patreon.com/SBMTG. You can go to the link in the description if you're into it and throw $1 a month into the pot. That'll help you vote on what decks you want to see first in Theros Beyond Death preview season. It'll also help your boy out a lot. If you want to, you can hit the link in the description and pre-order any of this stuff from TCG Player, whether it's sealed product that you want or it's singles. They've got a decent little price guide on their website right now if you just want a barometer for how these cards are doing in the community. But aside from that, I'm pretty much done. Just make sure you do all the YouTube stuff and comment how you feel about the card down there in the section for doing comments. And I will catch you cats very soon. I've got another spoiler video coming out in just an hour or two. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.